else to do. I mean, it can't be the setup that I have, can it? I don't have anything that's special. You done?
No.
Still drinking? Hard to say. Depending on what program to use stream, it can tell you if something's wrong. Well, it said my drop frames, and then the streaming bars, it's like, you know, if it's healthy streamed, it dropped all the way down to nothing. So maybe it is my internet connection, in which case I do need to get, you know what I could do, because I want to anyway, is get a different provider. And see how that works, because this is really annoying. It really is frustrating at this point, because I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to do. You okay? Yeah, it's dropped, what, 4 times today? It's like four times, I have to think. My boy. You doing okay?
Yeah.
Good. You want to sit down? Come on, let's go sit over here. You want to sit there? There you go. You want to sit? There we go. Can you sit? You sit. Oh. You gonna sit on the edge?
Oh.
My boy. Got you, boy. All right. Let's get painting done. Let's get some painting done before it cuts out for the 5th time or 6th, whatever we're at. Hey, boy, what? You okay? Good. My boy. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh, I can give him a orange. Let me do that really quick. Yeah, boy. Yeah. Yeah, boy. Here, hold your hands out. Ready? Here. Got him? Look. Good? You like that? Like it? Yeah? Good, 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 good. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. I'll push the color, push the form, correct the drawing. Also, what's going to help is painting around everything too. The face, the nose needs work, side of the everything needs work. That's how this stuff goes, man. Just stick with it. That's a study. Like every time you paint, you get the idea of it in your head. Probably do a solid painting out of your mind after you're done with it, and it would be relatively accurate, depending on how much time you study it. Like every painting is a study, even if it's a finished painting. So, I know Bouguereau who's a great painter, was a great painter, he used to do a lot of studies before he would put a figure into a painting. He would do pencil drawings, I think charcoal studies and such, and then he would actually do preliminary paintings, and then by the time he got to the canvas, he threw it down and it was nice, fresh, clean, precise, because he understood. At that point, he had studied it so hard that he understood everything about it. You know, he worked out all the issues beforehand, which is a hard way of going about it the smart way. You know, obviously didn't have the camera technology we have today, and so he was going off real life. Here we go, boy. Here. Got that? Ready? You want more? Hold your hand out. There we go, boy. Eat here, ready? Want? Yeah. There you go. Good boy. It's awesome. So this would be like, if I was putting her into a painting, this would be the preliminary sketch for it. Even though I could work this up, you know, all the way. You can make this into a finished painting. It's totally fine to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's a lot of correcting going on right now. A lot of correcting. That's the key with paint. You can't just expect it to be good really fast all the time. Sometimes you hit it. Sometimes you do. Since other times, you know, go through a lot, you lose the transparency and the shadows and such, meaning you build it up too much so it loses that freshness. So just scrape it down a little bit, shadows, sand them down, and you can repaint it very, relatively thin, get the transparencies back. But it's all drawing. Everything in painting is drawing, right? Everything in paint is drawing. These are all shapes that I'm putting in. These, obviously with the right value and such, but how light or dark it is. Thinking about the drawing. Yeah, he does all right. Yeah, top. Yeah, he sees these. He wants more. Go, boy. You aren't throwing them away, are you? Here. Here, ready? Hold your hand out. You got him? There. Mm-hmm. All right, boy, come here. Ready? Eat this. Here, hold your hands out. Here, ready? Here, 1 second. 1 second. Ready? Open. Good, huh? Eat. Good, huh? You want this? Here, eat. There you go. Good boy. Good? Good. It's too light. Tanner Arim. Thanks, bruh. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. CPT. Onion ring. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. You paint yourself as a royal ever. That sounds fun. As a royal? It would be cool to do a nude painting of myself just with a crown. A royal. The royal look, bro. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. What's it called? One of those frills. Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Those the rufflies. I think that's the technical term for it. The rufflies. The rufflies. Trying to bring the light out. Correct the form. Correct the drawing. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's just like you keep doing it, man. You just got to keep with it. It's the trick, the key. Just realized you got homie in the back. That's my dad. Yeah. Hey, old man, what's up? He has dementia, so I have to watch after him. Got him in the back. CPT. It's called a rough. I think they should come back in fashion perfectly. Reminds me of that episode of Seinfeld where they had that. He was wearing that like one shirt. He wore it on like, one of the talk show hosts. It was like an old pirate shirt. This might not be correct, but we'll see. I don't like the way I painted this up in here. I'll have to correct some of it. You know what? I'm not going to touch that. Get back into this top piece. I need to correct a lot of this up here. The pirate shirt, yeah. Oh, thank you, CPT. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. So I am painting, actually, one of my friends and viewers, his sister, and this guy lives in Kosovo. He's young. He's trying to learn the painting process. So this is for a YouTube video, and this would be part 3 of it. I've already filmed the first 2 parts, but I have yet to put them together and put them out. I'm waiting for all of them to be filmed to put them out so I can kind of organize it a little bit better. But it's essentially breaking down the process that we learned at the Florence Academy of Art on how to construct a portrait, all the stages from start to finish. And so I want it to be something thorough with it. Yes, they're going to be public videos. And so I have a YouTube channel, and I put everything out there, and then obviously stream here. So, and stream my studio work here. So most of the time when I'm in the studio, I figure put a camera on, and most of the people who watch, I think, we have some artists and also some people I play games with. So his sister, wow, no boundaries. Punk, what's up? Punk? What's happening, man? So yeah, no, it's gonna be a good video. It should be a good video. Should be. See how it goes. We'll see. Zerx just pops right back in. No boundaries. That'll be the name of the channel, No Boundaries. It's too bright. Too bright. Bright. Too bright. Keep it down. My boy. Hey, high five, ready? High five. Yeah, boy. Good man. Good boy. Hi, boy. Good man. It's too bright. Got milk. Painting is definitely not my medium, but I'm really loving your work. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. What type of medium do you do? I assume you do some art. Got milk. Stuff, man. No boundaries. Like working with ink and flex nib markers, but this past year I just started doing digital also. Awesome. Really cool. Do you have an Instagram page or anything? I'd love to see your work, man. And also, you like doing that stuff, I have a Discord channel you should join, and everybody posts their work and such, and we have all sorts of, all types of work there. That's going to be slightly lighter. that. Let's go in with a little bit of red, touch of black. No, that didn't do it. Awesome. The dark arts. Ooh. Ooh. And a screenshot. I'll screenshot that. I'll look it up in a little bit. Nope, not the volume. Got it. Nailed it. There we go. Cool. Really cool. What did I just do? Did I darken my light brush? Yes, I did. Dang it. It's all right. We can fix it. We can fix it. We can fix it. I lost the form there. Punk, how do you get better with skin tones? I pick my base tones, but then struggle choosing the rest. I'm a black and gray artist by trade. Does it just come in time? Yes, and I'll give you a solid way of learning. So, Punk, I've done several videos actually on skin tones. And this right now, I'm using a limited palette. And let me show you what that is exactly. Let's see. I think probably this camera is better to see it with, maybe. Let me get this here. I'll show you what to do, man. But if you look my channel up on YouTube and you look up the mixing videos, essentially what I do, let me see. I don't know if, no, that might be a little tricky. Here, you know what? I need a break from looking at this for a second. All right, so let me reset this up. Give me a minute, and then I'm going to go and I'll actually give an explanation on mixing flesh tones for you. All right? Because I do need a break. I've been looking at this actually for a little bit of time, so I'm going to take this, flip it. I'm going to do this. Okay. Yeah, check that out after, but I'll do you a quick demonstration right now. Let me just set this up. Okay, I got it. I know what I'm going to do. So just bear with me a second, and I'll do a demonstration really quick on these flesh tones, because this, actually, there's no blue in it. Oddly enough, there's no blue. So this is actually going to be good for me, because I need to rest my eye for a second, because I feel like I could be making some mistakes. I'm not really seeing things as clearly, though I like how it looks right now. I'm flipping it upside down. It's going to help me to see things a little bit clearer. And this right here is what we're going to do. See, I have a setup that I did with this, and I'm going to have to move this camera over just a little bit for it as well. I'm going to have to minimize it just a little bit. So, let's move this over some. There. I'm going to take my palette, take the palette cup off. Here. Brushes here. There we go. All right. And then I will adjust the camera in a second, so just give me a minute. All right, so give me a second here. I'll lose that camera just for a second, but then this is going to be totally worth it. Y'all are going to like this. Y'all are going to like this. This is going to be totally worth it. All right. Let me focus. There you go. That's fine. All right. Main camera back and do this. Alligato. Okay. All right, that actually works. So that's like, this is the palette right here, obviously. Okay. So, punk. What we got, let me show you what I do. This is ivory black. This is Indian red. It could be any red, essentially. This is yellow ochre. And this is Kremnitz white. Okay? And I mix my secondary colors as well. This is green and this is orange. Orange between the Indian red and the yellow ochre. And then green between black and the yellow ochre. And then right here, this is actually what would be purple. So let me explain this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 values ranging from dark to light. So I organize my palette. So I mix these colors individually. And I will mix a little bit more on here just to demonstrate. Ranging from dark to light. I never paint straight black. Katie, what's up? And then, so with this, what I do, I start, and I'll mix a little bit of each to show you guys. So I am working on the portrait, which I will put up probably about 5 more minutes. I'm taking a quick break, and I'm going to do an explanation on how I mix my skin tones. This is a limited palette, which is perfect for beginners because it limits the colors that you're using. It forces you to maximize their potential, so you understand those colors, right? Pop my head in the Discord. It is mainly just the painters in there. I'm out of my depth. No, you're not out of your depth. I promise. I promise you're not. And we have some graphic artists in there too. There are people in there. Like, yeah, you're not out. Don't feel that way. But do what you want, but don't feel that way. Okay, cool. Clean the car, that's what I need to do. Anyway, so I'll show you what we're going to do. This color right here is just going to be black and red, no yellow, because the yellow is going to lighten the color. So what I try to do is the first 3 colors, I try not to put any white in it. Because if you put white in, essentially it makes it a little bit more opaque. It takes the color out. So I try to use just color in these first 3 to make them go from dark to light. So we do mixing with the back of the palette knife, not the front, but the back, so you can push it smooth. I posted my horrible drawing in there. Trust me, everyone belongs. Yes, Xerxes is correct. All right, so I'm going to take some black and just a touch of the red, Indian red. I'm going to mix this in just to this paint. So normally, obviously, like I'm adding in a little bit more paint here, but this is how we mix right here. This one, and then I'll show you exactly how I use this and how I go about it. Because there's a very simple way, punk, to mix. A very simple way. So it's essentially like a 2-step process, okay? The first thing, it's not the step that I'm talking about. This first thing is we mix these colors. So second one, I want this dark. So that's a black. And I could take some orange if I wanted to. I'll take a little bit of orange, okay, which has some yellow. And then normally I have to take a little bit more red to offset it. It's a little bit like that. And so then I'm lightening the values up right here. Here we go. There we are. If I want it more red, I can make it red. If I need it yellow, make it more yellow. If it's too light, then just add some more black. And maybe a touch of red just to deepen it, right? Because normally if it's too light, you put too much yellow in. You get the hang of it. So this, to me, seems like it could use a touch more red. So I'm just going to get a little bit, mix it in, and that gives it that little kick that heats those shadows up and makes the painting come alive. There you go. And y'all might not be able to tell on Twitch because, you know, you got to keep in mind there's a little hair. You got to keep in mind that the camera obviously doesn't pick everything up that you see in real life. From here, this can be a little bit trickier. I'm going to take less black, more orange, okay? A touch of red, just a touch. And then we're going to mix this in. I actually want this a little bit lighter. Now say I get it too red. I can mix a little bit of green to offset that. Because green is red's opposite. All right, so here we go. Boom! Look at that. So now we have a mid-tone value, okay? Mid-tone. Now, here, we start adding some white. We add some black. Not so much. I don't need like a lot here. So something like this. There. We add some white. There. It adds a little bit more color because black and white really grayed out. So I'm going to add a little bit more color than we have. I'll have to mix more orange too in a second. Add a little bit of orange or red. Just a little, because this stuff is actually potent. At least my brand is. And so then we're going to mix this. And we'll mix it on the side. Let's see if we can make this accurate here. All right, so as you can see, this is more colorful, right? This right here is a little bit more grayed out and a little bit more purplish. So I'm going to take a little bit of black, a little bit of white. Gray it out. Maybe a little bit more. So we're matching the color. I'm actually matching this instead of just mixing it in. So I'm graying it out, right? And then I think it needs to be a little bit lighter with a touch of red. Yes, red. And we're getting just closer and closer to it. So that's essentially, that's closer. Still a little bit orange, but that's okay because I don't mind. That's in the ballpark. So we got that one, right? Mid-tone. And then from here, obviously, I'm going to wipe this off, even though I can go straight into it, but it's getting tricky in the lights. So the light, what do? We add a little bit of black, but not much. But not much. And then we add more white. We add some orange. We don't need so much here, but we do add some. And just a touch of that red, just a touch. See how close we come. That's pretty close, but it's a little bit darker, right, than that. So I'm going to take the light, come in with it. Look at that. It's pretty close. A little bit more. There we go. And if I need it more red, just take some red. More orange, take orange. If I need some yellow, I take yellow, right? Boom! All right, and then this last one is very easy. Last one right here, let's clean this off, is the white with just a touch and try to get the pure color right there because I mix between. So I'm just going to get a touch of orange. No black. No black. Now, I added a little bit more orange into this, which I actually wanted a little bit lighter, so I'm going to add this color. So this is like a nice light mid-tone. And I'm just going to add this into what I have. There's no black in this anyway. It's just black, yellow, and red. So it's an orange. So we have our basic colors. So we have like the physical paint right here. So we don't need to constantly be going back and scooping up a lot of paint and remixing all the values. But do we, at this stage of the painting, which is a little bit more advanced. Yeah, it's thank you, Gloku. I want to eat the forbidden toothpaste. So like at the stage of the painting, which we'll get back to in a second, I'm doing more of the like refining and still correcting the big shapes, but we're going for the specific colors and values. So we don't want to just simply be mixing between these colors and that's it here. We'll be taking some from the, we got to be tinting them. So the two-step process that I was talking about, punk, right, punk. Let me just mix a little bit more. Orange, arancia, as the Chinese say. I think it is the Chinese. All right. So here we go. That's the arancia, the orange. Okay. A little bit more red. All right. And it takes practice. Obviously, this takes a lot of practice. When I first started doing this, it would take me like 45 minutes to mix these colors, right? Like back in the day when I started last week. I've only been painting for a week. I'm just extremely talented. I learn quick. Everything comes easy for me. So when we're working with this, say this is a brush, and I'll demonstrate with the brush, but I want to show you. Thank you, Gloku. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Favorite color? Purple. I like purple a lot. I regret saying that. It is not a feminine color. My favorite color is red because I'm a man. It's purple. I like purple. So if we're mixing between the colors, I'm thinking of two things. When I look at the painting, besides correcting the drawing, you're squinting down, you're unifying the values, you're trying to say, okay, this is the light shape, dark shape, or mid-tone, dark. Purple's a nice color, right? So you have to figure out two things. How light it is, light or dark, how light, that's the value. And then in paint, what color is it? Okay, those two things, right? Now the color, you want to add at the end. When you're developing, you don't really want the color. You want the values at all times, but the color, you add at the very end, okay? So, getting that out of the way. Say I'm mixing on the face, and I say, okay, there's a value between these two, how light or dark it is. So with my brush, I'm mixing between my brush, I'm getting the value. But what happens is, when we have a value 1, 2, 3, this value appears milky and grayed out, which is why a lot of people, when they paint, they're like, why does my painting look all muddy and grayed out? It's because you're mixing between the values and not putting color into the midtones in between. So that's the first step process. Thanks, Gloku. The first step of the process is to get the value, right? Now we have to get the color. So say I look and I'm like, okay, this needs to be more yellow or orange or red or green. We're using as a purple right here because this is a limited palette. So the black is essentially acting like a blue. And just to show you, like if we're mixing a black here, or I'm sorry, like look at this. I'm just gonna mix, this is black. So that's a gray right here. Gray. And if we put it up against the orange, look how blue that looks. If I had to cover this up, do you see how blue that looks? So that is, you're playing warms and cools off each other. So the black is acting like a blue. So that's how you cool things down, right? He says, right. All right, so say it's more orange. I just get a touch of orange. And so what did we do? Now look at what we have. We have this value, this value. And this looks better than, let's get the same dark value, right? Right? It's this. So this is a little bit more smooth and milky. We have this, and we can push the warmth to it. We can push, if it needs to be a little bit more red, we push the red in it, right? And so that's how we color it. So we do the same with, you know, wherever between the two here, we're mixing, and then I might say it needs to be more red, right? And so let me show you how it looks with a brush. So when y'all see me going back at the palette with the brush, I'm thinking two things: how light it is, and then how colorful it is. What color is it? To determine the color, it takes a lot of practice, and if you're looking at the face, and I'll demonstrate it when we get the painting back up, but the key is not to just focus on one area, is to look at the whole thing and try to flash your eyes, say, okay, I'm looking at the cheek here, but I'm looking at this whole thing, and look at the cheek, look at the whole thing. After a while, you'll hone your senses and be able to pinpoint what exactly that color is. But how you described it, I'm all in. Also, I have many pictures on my wall just because I love how I feel around it, more energetic and cooler. Thanks, man. It's a really nice compliment. There's a lot that goes into painting, and it's very practical, this type of stuff. You can be expressive and all that, but to be that way, you have to, I think it's very important to learn the language. This is the language. It's very practical, A, B, C, D. So this, let me show you something. Let me just simplify this for you. These are my brushes, obviously, but I have like this light brush, for example, and where's my other light? But these are kind of my two light brushes. This one right here is the lighter light, I think, right? Yes. So this brush is within a value range of like kind of around here, and I'll push it here if I need to, and if I really want a highlight brush, then I'll just get another brush because this is a little dirty, but this is the value range. So I'm not using this for over here because it's just, and some people do use one or two brushes. I like organizing my brushes and having like 2 or 3 different values on this one. This one's going to be the lighter but slightly darker, so instead of going up in this value range, this one's around here. And I might even dabble a little bit into here, like darken this maybe a little bit, maybe if I need to, but I can always come back into this value range. So when I'm mixing between these two, I'm like, okay, this is it, and then I might be like, okay, just a touch of color here. So it adds that color, so it makes it so that it's not milky. Also, if your paint's becoming dirty, it's because you're not going back in your palette and making sure your brushes have what you have. Good, I'm glad it's helping. It's like, once you get the concept, it's just practice, and this is a solid way of organizing yourself, because it's just, you know, and some people they're good, they mix all over and that's fine. It takes, you know, I can do that because I know how to, in my brain, I have this set up now, like I know. I don't need to do, but this is a solid way of working. If not, you definitely should. So right now I'm not, well, I teach, there are 2 people in my town where I give private lessons, and then I have a nude model class on Thursday nights with a group of people, but I haven't been doing like private classes beyond that. Does the paint on the palette last your entire painting, or do you go back and, so this should last, let's see, yeah, this should last, unless I take forever on it, right? And I put them in the freezer and such on a plate, but anyway, so then this is like a mid-tone right here. I mean, I think y'all have kind of like a solid idea of what I'm saying, but I kind of go here with this. This one I might, maybe, I haven't really been working in the shadows that much, but you know, I go here and then I'll always, so I get the value and then I go and get the color. And this is interesting, in this painting right here, especially with like this brush right here, there are certain parts that are green. And so I'll take some of the green, which this is the black and yellow, come in here, and then what I'll do, I'll actually, to keep this pure green, because this has more red in it, I'll take kind of the white and kind of use this value to lighten it up a little bit. And then I might add a little bit of, yeah, it's like something like this. And so that's kind of more of a green in the range of what we're working with. And you can contrast it, because the opposite of green is red. So you could take that's like in the painting, you could have something that's more red and place it beside the green. This is what a lot of people call grays, because they're like grayed out colors. It's not straight green, straight red, or whatever. Gloku, thank you. I appreciate that. That was nice, gifting a sub to Punk. Thank you. These are grays, right? And so that's what they're called. But I'm one of these like define things. But just this will teach you how to see color. It's a solid way of learning. And organizing your palette from dark to light, even my placement, black, you know, I try to place everything organized, like going from value-wise from dark to light. I try to do that. And so you're not having to constantly go and start from scratch remixing all the colors. So this is how I do it. And even right here, kind of like you can, if you want, mix like some grays, you know, from dark to light, that you kind of mix in between to kind of cool them off if you think that's something you want to do. So this is, when y'all see me going back to the palette, that's what I'm doing. So I try not to work too much into the painting for two reasons. Well, number one is you don't want to over model when you're working with just with one brush, so I'm not working so long on it. I'll work things in, but at the end, I always want to put a brush stroke over it, right? But number two is I don't like, you know, if you work too much on the canvas, or in my case, it's a birchwood panel, a board, it will blend the paint so much in between values and it will gray it out, it will become muddy and dirty. That's why a lot of people, they have that problem. So that's essentially the explanation for this. So I hope that was helpful for you. And like I said, I've done several videos on this stuff. And I'm pretty sure I've done a limited palette one too. This is limited, like I said, this is only 1, 2, 3, 4 colors. All of these colors are based off of black, red, yellow, and white. That's it. But you can make stuff that looks blue right here. Do you see? Like this right here. In fact, to my eye, this looks different than that. But it's the same color. It's just you're comparing it. Because the opposite of blue is orange. So orange will always make the blue make something look more blue, even if it's not really. Which this isn't really blue, but it's cool. Which is playing off that orange. So it's kind of some color theory. Yeah. So I thought that I turned the ads off because I stopped my ad revenue. So if there's still ads on this, I'll go and double check because I don't want to have ads on this. I think there's a way to turn it off. It's kind of, you can't turn the ads off? I thought you could. I turned them off this weekend because I didn't like that it was breaking everything up. It's kind of pissing me off, actually. Because here's the thing, like YouTube, the ads are annoying, but live content is just bullshit. Schedule them. Maybe I'll try to schedule them. All right. Saying yes, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, anytime, man. Oh yeah, yeah. It's annoying. Anyway, let's get that painting back up, and we'll work on the painting. And we got some new colors mixed. So when y'all see me going back to the palette, I would love to have a palette cam, but I don't know how to do that yet. Because obviously I hold the palette. That's another thing. So there's a reason why I stand and walk back and forth. And to be honest with you, I should be back here observing more, but you're supposed to be looking at a painting 3 heights of the painting back. So 1, 2, 3 back, right? And it will help you unify everything, see everything at once. And it prevents me from just over modeling and over detailing, just getting sucked in. You see the entire thing all at once, so it all makes sense. Glow Crew, that's nice of you, man. You guys, that's nice. Okay, so we got that. Like I said, y'all can check those. Like I have done several videos, and not all of them. There are other ones that I've added a couple more colors, and that's the other thing. The cool thing about this is that limited palette. It will teach you those colors. So when you are forced to mix flesh tones or colors from a limited palette, you can't always get the colors that you want. So it forces you to really push each color to its limit, each value to its limit, so you learn about those colors. That way, when you add, say, cobalt blue, just one color into the mix, you understand immediately what that color does. Right? As opposed to starting with all the colors of the rainbow and you are just mixing and you have no idea what anything does. You don't know the limits of any colors because you've never been limited. And so it's a great way to learn. It's how I learned. And it's how I definitely recommend people, especially with skin tones. Skin tones, because they can be rough. They can be rough. But just keep in mind, I used to spend 45 minutes mixing. Literally, it took me that long. Now I can mix them probably in about 5, maybe. I don't know if I just went quick. And I still will modify them as I go. You know? My boy, you got your shoes off. What are you doing, boy? What are you doing? You got your shoes off. You got your belt. I don't know. What you doing, boy? You okay?
No.
Are you tired?
Yes.
He's tired. He's losing strength. I don't like it. Okay. So we're going to get back to this, do a little bit more work. And so I'll point out too, I'll point out what I see now that you'll have the flesh tones in your brains. Okay, so I'm going to move some things around just a little bit here. Let's do this. Let me actually, I'm going to zoom this in some, so give me a second. You're going to lose this main picture for a second, and then let me get that picture back so you can see just a little bit. I think that's okay. There we go. Boom. Okay. And I'll show you what I'm trying to do, because oftentimes I'm just painting. Everybody's like, all right, he's painting, but I don't know what he's doing. Okay, this looks okay. Wait. It's over just a little. Okay. Stop. So, what I'm looking at is cocoa. Yeah, Gloku. I think my website's listed below, though I haven't updated it in a long time. I think I have everything listed. And besides that, my YouTube channel has a lot of my work on it too. But so I'm trying to look at these large shapes and get the large shapes at this stage, it requires subtle detail. I'm trying to study, for example, the form as it pertains to the whole. Form meaning the anatomy and all these individual pieces. So what I'm trying to do is see this 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the temple area right here. It's all in terms of values and colors. Here, let's see if y'all can see this. All right, so I'm trying to work in greens, reds, some cools. So around here, this is going to be a little bit more green. So we actually have a green right here, and it should be greener in here and in here. The brushwork is sloppy. I don't like it. This right here seems flat to me in real life. I think there's a subtle value right here that pops it out more, but I can't overdo it because otherwise it's going to overmodel it. But this right here is flat to me on my painting. The forehead's actually looking okay. This transition, this needs to lighten up some, and the color needs to be a little bit more yellow, in my opinion. But like, these are the things that I'm looking at. I shifted this. I've been shifting. Oh, this piece I saw from the beginning. This piece needs to raise maybe a slight bit, and there needs to be a lighter value here just to drop it, but it's very subtle. I'm trying to see a value here, a value here. This is going to be greener down in here, but it turns up in the cheek. So all those values and stuff, you know, that's what I'm looking at, how light or dark it is, and then playing the greens off. So this, like, it's going to be greener in down here, and it's going to be a little bit more rosy up here, which I still need to push a little bit without making it look ridiculous, right? Yeah. She is. That's kind of how it is. Like, I can show you all the image I'm going off of. The problem is the image I'm going off of is not a good image, so I'm kind of having to fill in some anatomy myself, but I can't do too much because then it will look made up. So anyway, that's what we're working on with this. Trying to push the color, trying to observe the color, trying to correct the big shapes, the color, the light values, trying to get the subtlety in, and constantly correcting what I've done. And so that's portraiture, and it takes a long time. And so if you're first starting, just give yourself a lot of time and don't be upset if it looks like crap at the end, because that's normal. It's just how it is. My boy, let me help my dad for a second. So let's see. I want to see how long this is. 2:20. Streaming for a little bit. I tell you what, I'm going to tie him in. I'm going to go to the bathroom really quick, then come back and get this thing going. 1 second. And then I don't know how much longer I'm going to stream because he's getting antsy. I should probably get him home. Probably by 3 o'clock. It's 2:20. 3 right now. So I'll stream a little bit longer, get some painting done, and then I'll end it, get him home, and I'll be streaming this week. So I have a lot of work I have to do on this. See mom, don't you? Want to go see mom? I will be right back, right back. All right, my boy. Okay, we're back and finished strong on this one. We got all stream for about 20, 25 minutes more, and then I got to get him back because he needs it. But I will be streaming this week, and this again is for a solid video. This will be in time-lapse form right here. This is part of the time-lapse. And I think what I'm going to do is at the end of this, once I come back after I drop him off, I will probably do a quick explanation for the video, so it will be in between, and then I'll continue the time-lapse until this thing's done. But I just kind of I'm trying to make it as thorough as I possibly can for people who feel very lost in this type of work, which is 100% understandable. I went through the same thing. Even when I was training at an academy and they were telling me what to do. Where's my palette cup? There it is. Yes, come to me, palette cup. Okay. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, so first thing we do when we get back is prudent to look at the drawing, not just go into painting. So really see, just flash your eyes back and forth the entire thing, see what needs to change. Which I know y'all don't have the reference photo. Give me a second. This is actually a client. 1 second. Dr. Stubbs, how are you? Hey. What time? At what time? Uh-huh. The house picture. Maybe. I need to get some stuff done. I might be able to 7:30 maybe? Okay, I will try to get that. I will call you if anything changes, okay? Okay, I'm juggling a lot right now, but I'll try to get there. Okay, gotcha. Okay. All right. Okay, excellent. I'll see you. Bye. Hey, we're going in a second, I promise. Oh, you want some help? Here. Poor guy. Come here, baby. Oh, good man. There's one. You got this one going, boy. Look at that. Look at you, boy. You got shoes on you. Yeah. We're going in a second, boy. All right. Woo. We juggle. We juggle. That's what we do. That's what we do. All right. So we're looking at the entire shape all at once. That's what we're doing. Entire shape. Let me fix something that I saw in the very beginning. I'm going to go up to the eyes, or rather the eyebrows. Yes, eyebrows. Up here. This just needs to come up just a little bit. I'm looking at this entire thing, and it just gives an air that it just needs to come up a little bit on mine. And like I said, I know y'all don't have the reference, so it's like abstract by design, because I don't want y'all to see how far off I am. Frankly. To what, goat? So there's a value right here. And it's cool, and it's lighter than what I have. That's going to make this come down. So I'm essentially doing that to the angle right here, okay? And then, so here, I'm going to get the value, and then I'm actually going to get some black. And really what I could do is take some of this that we mixed, just a touch, and I'm very subtly cooling this off, and I'm going to come in, focused on what I have with the brush, step back, squint, and put a value in right here, which is pretty close. It's slightly too light, but actually, you know what? This is kind of working for what I need it for. I bring it down further because I'm going to come in with a slightly darker value. So I'm going very slow. And then I'm going to come in with slightly darker value. So this is what we did here. I'm going to take this value, which is a little darker. I'm going to make it a little bit darker here with the black, but just the black, because I don't want color in this really. I want it to be very grayed out. Squinting helps a whole lot. So when you squint, everything should turn the same in your painting as it does in reality. There. And I'm going to take that value too. I'm going back to the palette. Notice I'm not like, you know, overworking. And I'm just going to take a little bit here and bring it over 1, 2. Squint. So the impression of what I got is a little bit better. I'm going to bring potentially this value up some in light. So that's what I'm thinking. This is how we draw in paint. So I've also done a lot of videos on drawing, like especially, and I hate, but bar drawing is very important to do. I think it's a very good method of learning in the beginning. So if you can't see where things go, right, then it's going to be much harder to paint. So here, what I want to do, there's kind of like a really strong green in here. So actually let me go in with a smaller brush. So I'll take this one. Around here. And I'm really going to make this, I want it darker than this, but I also want it green. So this is green here, and then I'm going to lighten this up, green it out. So I'm essentially getting rid of the red. So this has black and yellow. This has a little bit of red, but I'm using it as white, kind of, because it's predominantly such. This might be too much, and I think it might be too light. I think it might be okay because I wanted to lighten this area some anyway, so I'm just going to slightly bring this down just a little bit. So this is actually a very green stroke right here. So I raised that light up in that area just a little bit. And then I'm going to take the darker light brush that I have right here. And I'm going to come in with, this is a demonstration right here. This is what I was doing before, the contrasting the green and the red, and then we're going to squint down, and I want something that's kind of, say, in between the two. Touch of orange, so I'm thinking about the value, orange. Get it on the brush, come back here. And I'm thinking of the anatomy, which there's a kind of a light shape that kind of comes here. This might be too light, but maybe not. I might be able to work this in some. We'll see how it looks once I'm dragging it into the value. Drag that into the value. So I'm bringing the light up just a little bit here. And then this, right here, I'm going to flip the brush to the clean side of the paint and just slightly put it there. So I'm putting a couple strokes on, making sure we see brush stroke, standing back, turning the form, and that's how we make it so it doesn't look over-modeled. Squint. Squint is like this, squint, squint, squint. And it unifies the lights and the darks. It gets rid of all the details and subtlety, so you can just see the light impression. It makes it much easier to see. There we go. So I'm slowly bringing the light up while working the color and the anatomy, the planes, and thinking about all these things, trying to understand what I'm looking at. All right. So here, stroke is coming across that way, but I want it lighter and slightly greener. So I'm going to take, this is the value we're using, so I'm going to take some of the light, take some of the green. a little bit more of the light because the green really darkens it. So we're taking the red out of the paint. That's essentially what we're doing. And then from here, squint. That's it. That's what I want. And I'm going to try to apply it nicely, nice and smooth, something like that. So we're kind of bringing it out some. And this value is also, I see the same one up here. I'm going to try to get a nice stroke on it. One. That. And then I'm going to put a little bit of light up top here as well. But that is going to be light, but it's going to be, so this same brush, it's not the light brush. It's that kind of lighter midtone. So this is going to be light, but it's going to be more orange. So I think about the value, and then I think about the... All right, Gloku, see ya, man. Take care. Thanks for being here. Think of value, then think about the color. Then we're coming in and placing it, and I'd like to push that color just a little bit more. It's okay to exaggerate the color a little bit within reason. Here, there's a little piece that kind of pops up like that, and then I'm just going to bring this over like that. That's how we get the, I guess this means turn it. It's my sign language for turn it. And then this piece kind of comes down into it just a little bit here like that. So we're just slowly bringing the light up in the forehead, thinking about the shape, the construction of it. And then I need to bring the light down into this area right here, like I said. So I'm going to take the same brush, I'm going to wipe it off. I'm going to go a little bit on the darker end with it. Study what I'm doing. I want it to be yellowish green, but the right value. So let's go into a value that's probably between this here. So probably around here. See how we add a little bit of yellow. Let's add the green. And I'll probably, it's okay to go darker at first. This is probably okay. Push the yellow a little bit more, which I know is blurry, but whatever. And then squint down, now we think about the drawing. And then this should be lighter. It is. And I'm going to go across the form. I'm not flowing with the form, but I'm going across it like that because I like how it makes a nice 3D effect. So there's a shape, just kind of putting 1, 2 like that. I'm just bringing the light down just a little bit. Kind of lifting off so it makes that effect afterwards. And then I'm going to do a little bit over here. And then I need kind of a connecting piece up top, so I'm going to lighten this value a little bit. Just a little. Add a little bit of orange to it. And this should connect this piece. And maybe, I'll continue this motion here. Squint. There. And this value can be around here too. So now, that area has some light, it's turning, it's more colorful. If I overdo it, then I can go back and repaint. It's not a big deal. Let's take the same brush, I'm going to darken this a little bit, so I'm going to wipe the paint off. I'm going to go into a value about right here. And I'm going to add some orange. I want to heat it up a little bit more, so I'm going to add even a touch of the red. The red, yes, the red. A little bit more. Exaggerate the color. Exaggerate the color. Squint. And then we have this value here, which that is borderline 2. No, this is okay. Should be there. I'm just going to put it there, something like that. And then I think the green needs to come down over it. So I'm playing the green off with the red. Yes, yes. Human interaction is incredibly important if you are an artist. Otherwise, you will go insane. Okay. Get to it. Be normal. We're going to mix this green color again. We're constantly looking at the drawing. Now, these are the small shapes. If you've done bar drawings, which unfortunately I do endorse doing, then you know you have to get the big shapes before you get the small shapes, because otherwise the small shapes aren't going to work within the big shapes. So this is it. We're going to work on all this stuff. Okay, so here, bring the green down into that red. There you go. So now we have a nice turn of the. Oh my boy. You all right? Tired? Are you tired? Very. He's very tired. He's very tired. You want to get up? You want to get up? Let me get him up. Get him up. Come on. You want to stand up? Okay. Come on. Want to stand up? 1, 2, 3. Oh, baby. Yeah, baby. You all right, baby? You all right, baby? I got you, baby. You doing okay? That's dirty now. Yeah, but that's toxic, so we can't have you do that, my boy. Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's see, what time is it? I might need to stop soon to get him back, but this is actually how we go about this, and that's my thought process for all this stuff. You know, in the beginning, you're not thinking about the specifics of the color and spending all day trying to mix it and this and that. And look, I'll probably go over that area again because I probably screwed something up. But that's why we get everything in the right place to begin with, in hopes that you don't need to shift it, right? Because if you have to shift it, then you've spent all that time moving everything. Come on, boy. Yes, come this way. Come on, boy. You know, so that's how we go about. I mean, it looks okay on stream, I guess. It's looking okay. But so once we have modeled and corrected everything, make sure the transparency of the shadows is correct, fix all the proportions. Be a beautiful painting when it's done. And you don't want to over model it. It's very easy to do that, which is why it's very important to take some breaks.
Yeah.
Hey. Huh? Hey. You doing good?
Yeah.
Good. We're going in a second. I can't stay that much longer.
Right.
Hey,
Yeah, right.
Farringsworth, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'll be streaming a lot this week. I'm probably going to end in a couple minutes. I'm going to paint just a little bit longer, but I got to get my dad home. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. But I'll be around this week, streaming this stuff.
When?
Probably. He says when. Probably 12:30, 1 o'clock Eastern-ish, too, depending. It's my schedule is very random right now. My boy. Yeah, man. I'm just standing him a second. He needs to, I'm trying to keep him active. Like I said, we juggle. That's what we do, we juggle. Doing all right? Yeah.
To see all that.
So a lot of the videos, I try to put some humor into the videos. And recently I've just been trying to get one out a week as I can. So they're not as in-depth always with especially the skits that I want to, but skits sometimes people don't like. Hey, sit down for a second. Let me finish my painting and then we can go, okay? You want to go sit? Let's go sit over here really quick, then we'll go, okay? Okay. There we go. Come on. Right. I got you. Ready? Right here. Yes. All right. There we go. That's good. He needs to stand. All right. Here we go. I was working up at the forehead. I'm going to go in with a light brush and I'm going to work on this cheek area just a little bit because that is flat. And yeah, I need to fix that. There's things that I need to fix there. So I'm going to come in with this mixture that we so beautifully mixed and then add a little bit of Indian red to it, just a touch. This might be too light. In fact, I think it really is too light. I just want to see where we're at with this. Okay, so that's about there. I could make it lighter with that, but I am going to squint down, add just a little bit of orange, and the orange will actually darken it, and the red will too. And we add a little bit more orange, and this is the color we want. I'm scooping it up on the brush, thinking about how you got to think about the brush, right? Think about it. So then I'm just going to add a little bit of color. There's already color there, so I know it's going to mix in with it. My goal is to bring that cheek out just a little bit, looking at the entire piece all at once. So let's do this. Let's go crosswise like this. I was picking up the light, actually the studio light, so I'm going to come back this way. I couldn't see what I was doing. There, and then here, I'm going to actually physically add some paint so that like sculpturally it comes out a little bit, and it's going to be the same value more or less. What I see is it's going to be light, but it's going to have a little bit more yellow to it. So I'm going to scoop it up. I want to make sure that, like, you can build paint up this way too. Think sculpturally. So I'm just painting this on very slowly. Painting it on very slow, and then I'm going to step back and see how that looks. So that's giving it a little bit more form, a little bit more, but this area is not working yet. So I'm going to use the same brush right here because there's very little difference between the colors. Like I said, I might dip into this dark a little bit, but I want it to be a little bit more rosy. I want to play off the reds in the cheek top to the greens and the grays down low. And that's going to make the painting turn. It's going to make it look nicer. Okay. I'm actually going to bring this up just a little bit. I'm squinting down, doing very subtle maneuvers on it. Subtle. Actually, I brought that up, the light shade. That's not good. Let me go in with a little bit more red. Push the red in it. Step back, think. And then there's this piece here. Kind of comes in like that. And then let's do this. I'm going to take some of this here. Touch of the purple, which is the black and the red down here. I'm going to add a little bit more white for the paint, color it up with the Indian red. So I have essentially grayed it out, but I'm pushing the red, so this is going to be a cooler transition that should, if done correctly, turn the cheek into the side of the head. We're thinking planes. Planes. Bitch. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. Yeah, that's kind of how we do it, but that's not like the best brushstroke I've ever done. Yo! We're going in a second, my boy. Actually, I'm going to come in here with this. Let's see how this works here. 1, and then 2 here. Really getting a gray here. Here. I'm keeping all the paint on the tip. Let's grade it out just a little bit more. Or rather, add some red. And then we're going to just darken this. That's what I want right there. Slowly darken that. And then slowly mess it up again. Mother of pearl. Did not work. There we go. And then what I'll do, I'll come back in. That's not bad. That's not bad. I kind of like that. It's a very beautiful, it's a very soft, rosy color in the cheek there. You don't want to make her look like she has a 5 o'clock shadow either. That's the other thing. You got to be careful with this stuff. You just got to be careful. Okay. I have seen women with beards before. Oddly enough. But I don't think she has a beard. And here. All right, come in. Okay. Let's come in with, this is the next to dark brush. Add some green. Add a little bit of yellow. Let's go from here. This, actually, I want it a little bit more dulled down. So I'm going to dull it down with a little bit of black. Add some of that right there. So that kind of graded out just a little bit. Let's see how this looks. I'm also trying to build the paint up, physically build it up some. This is a very subtle value right here. I kind of have to step back probably to see what I'm doing. Yeah, it's okay. It's working. So here I'm going to pull it down into the next value. There. Pull. That, and then here there's going to be an in-between. Then I'm going to take this piece right here, and I'm going to keep that grayed out right there, and then I'm going to just lightly pull this value down into it, pull it down, creating that subtle turn into the grayer part of the face. I mean, it's kind of working, right? I guess. This same value right here, I see, but I think it's a little bit more yellow, and it's right here. And this is what will give this area a little bit more form, which is anatomy. Just a little there, and it's actually going to get darker than that because that's too light. So let's take some of this, green it out some. I should have just actually taken the green in. Actually, this is the color I want right there, I think. Yes, that is the color I want. So I'm taking this, and let's do definite brush strokes. 1, 2, squint down. And then this is going to transition over into more red. My boy, look at you getting up on your own. I want you to fall.
I don't want you to fall.
Hold on to me. Guys, I think I'm going to call it today. I need to get him back home. But I thank you so much for watching and everything. Here, come here. Come here. Come with me. I'm going to shut the stream off right now. But I'll be back this week. We'll be painting, and I appreciate y'all watching and sticking with me and being patient while I do everything. Katie, Crockett, ladies. All right. Yeah, it was fun. It's good having y'all. All right. Well, look, I got to run. Y'all take care. We'll be streaming this week. Punk. All right. Yeah. Punk. Can you say punk? Punk. Say punk. Punk.
Yeah,
It's like punk. All right.
I know.
All right. Y'all.